Hello and welcome to another episode of 709 Meridian, an audio commentary podcast. My name's Andrew.
And I'm D in the co-pilot seat.
And today, or this episode, we are doing Poltergeist. It is our last episode of season 2, so we'll be announcing season 3 after the movie. But now we are finally to Poltergeist 1, which is, unlike the Halloween movies, the only Poltergeist movie anyone should watch.
Yeah, like if you watched either of them, of the sequels, you just go back to the first one. It's like,
How did they get from
where this?
How did they get from Poltergeist 1 to,
Yeah, where did they go from Haunted House to Reverend Kane?
It's almost like Steven Spielberg helped out, but
yeah.
All right. So yes, and if you would like to listen to the commentary track without, I don't know that we'll be doing a lot of dumbfounded, slack-jawed watching of terrible movie this time. But if you do want to watch it not synced to the movie and a little bit quicker, there's an unsynced version both in the podcast feed and on the YouTube channel. But otherwise, yes. I think we're ready to go.
Yep. Let me get my digit ready here.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Leo the Lion.
All right. Big Leo, old school. The original logos here because, oh wow.
Yep.
And stand for our national anthem. This is not a ball game, folks.
When you think about this...
A Tobé Hooper film.
Tobé Hooper.
Quote.
Some of it. Just the weirdness of how movies... we don't have that anymore, right? But like in the 80s, the way movies, like even of event pictures started, there was some like initial way to grab people, right? Like,
yeah, because this here, anytime this was on television, if you heard this, if you clicked on the channel, it was like, oh shit, Poltergeist is on. It's kind of like with Back to the Future when they did the test audiences. Nobody knew what was going on. They were like, people were about to leave the theater when the car disappeared. They had no clue what was happening until they were literally told, this is a time machine.
You also couldn't do this because CRT TVs aren't a thing anymore. So
no, absolutely not. This is old school. This is when your channels went off at the end of the day.
The dog, just like...
Probably one of the most useless dogs because he's literally the family dog in this. He doesn't do anything fantastical.
Introducing us to the entire family. Like, that's... And what's her face? Who?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Dominique Dunn. There we go. Chip.
Star Wars, Yoda, Stormtrooper figures. We've got a lot of crossover between the Spielberg Lucas. There really wasn't anything else in there. It was the two of them always included references.
Handshaking, left and right. I always used to think this is what was happening on the couple of streets over from the stuff that was going on in E.T. Because it looks like the same neighborhood.
Right? And then Halloween 3, too. We didn't watch Halloween 3, but Season of the Witch, same neighborhood. And then, of course, this is probably a lot of what the walking stuff was done in reverse. I know that some of the other shots are a lot more obvious, but this one can do it too. That making them walk backwards to get an interesting
Oh, the look of the
and
pace.
reversing it. Yep.
Little Carol Ann
Oh, and the
passed out Craig T. chair there.
music's already better than all of Halloween 3 or Poltergeist 3's.
Poltergeist 3. Oh, yeah. It's not all synthesized or whatever the hell they were doing. What was that, piano or something?
It's amazing how I've blocked that movie so quickly.
Oh, just think about how pissed off Nancy Allen was.
Yep, that's right.
The scowl on her face, even when she was smiling.
It's a pretty good Jerry Goldsmith score too. Though
Oh yeah, it's really like creepy, but like sort of come to this.
Yeah.
Welcome to this story, or
All right, so Steven
hey,
Spielberg
look at
production, yeah.
that. His
Beth
letters bigger,
Williams getting top billing over Craig.
right? There we go.
Kids all together.
See, same neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Goldsmith. Telling you, this
Michael
happened.
Kahn, who edited at least one of the Raiders, if not two or three of them, or the Indiana Jones. The Matthew Lionetti might have shot. No, Douglas Slocum shot Raiders. That is a street straight out of.
And it looks like an insert from E.T.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. Frank Marshall and Steven Spielberg produced it. So it is an under the radar Amblin production.
Oh, yeah. This was, yeah. All is missing is a logo at the end of the credits. I remember they used to play this piece during a Just Say No commercial. They show the neighborhood and they show two kids smoking up in the back somewhere in somebody's backyard.
Yeah, this is outside maybe the guy with the beers. It's very much it could be an ET sequence.
Yeah. Especially the bike. Look at the bike.
Riding his kid's bike.
He really didn't even go that far. Nice house. Now that house was a real house, right? The exterior.
Think so. If I knew a lot of Poltergeist trivia, I've forgotten it. Though I feel like some of the dad's friends are recognizable-ish, but also maybe not.
Well, the guy on the bike, I think, is a blocker from Dan Blocker's son. What you call it? Bonanza.
There's the
Jeffrey the Giraffe in the back.
Yep, and a
Star Wars poster and
the Darth Vader figure holder, of course. Yep.
Realest parent ever.
Mr. Rogers.
And this kind of was a real thing, though. You know, those TVs in the 80s, you had to put your TV somewhere if it was close enough.
The neighbor's definitely somebody.
Oh yeah, he's been in a lot of shows. Special guest star Sleaze. See, Spielberg Suburbia. Down you go, Tweety.
Mm. It's
Hmm?
also one of those movies that you can't actually make a sequel to. So
No, sequels are unnecessary to this.
anything you try with it's going to screw it up. But it is really just
So to whoever, franchise Poltergeist, uh, you did wrong.
what's also funny is that Spielberg never got shit for all of his product placement, but he had it.
Yeah.
Like other people get lots of shit for it, but I've never heard anybody point it out for Spielberg or
Because Spielberg, people are like, Spielberg is suburbia, you know? He is Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but at the same time, billboards are billboards, right? So
Well, yeah,
like
yeah. But a lot of people are just gratuitous, you know? That's why I like Demolition Man just said, fuck it,
yeah,
with the Taco Bell. But, a lot of people drink Coke. A lot
right?
of people eat
It's
Cheerios.
right. It's not particularly believable if everybody's drinking RC.
Right. There you go. Unless it's like cheapy. See, look, the dog is a real dog. Ooh. There she is killing another
Yeah,
pet.
I don't think that goldfish is gonna be able to survive that much food.
Uh, from there, it looks like there's like two or three in there.
Yeah, Captain America comic there.
Ah, yes. TIE Fighter.
Yeah, I mean a Hoth tower. You could just go through
Everything in there.
all the Star Wars toys he's got.
His room looked like a lot of kids' rooms back then. Like, I know I had the bed sheets.
Yep. There's a tauntaun back there.
Alien poster.
Was there one? I missed it.
Yeah, it was real quick. I think they'll show it again. Magic Johnson poster in the back.
There are two goldfish.
Yeah. You killed us, kid.
I mean, maybe you could have done like a
R2, Hoth Han, Luke on a Tauntaun.
not Hoth Tauntaun. Oh, there's that alien poster and that Darth Vader poster over on the wall.
Wow. I think I might have had that one. Very much a harbinger. Everything we need to know about this film is just being set up right here. And
it's so well paced, but it's gradual, but really well paced. And I think that Michael Kahn cutting is just very nice. There's a Snoopy and Woodstock thing there.
I remember that. That's the one where the ears turn around.
Is that an A-Team van that we just missed?
Okay. This might have been before.
So this scene with the parents smoking pot is one of the
massive quantities at that. Like,
yeah, but it was 1982
already smoking
pot.
one.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's in the same thing they used as a coffin. So when Carol Ann said she didn't like that the bird wouldn't like the smell of the coffin, it wasn't cigars, it was weed.
Yeah. And there's just weed on the bed there.
But it's used as the example of why Spielberg never would have directed anybody smoking pot. And it's also like he also never would have directed a dad as good as Craig T. Nelson. So, like
note, very 80s Reagan, the man, the president book. Super 80s.
Okay, so now we're introducing a potential danger spot for later, but the 80s dream of the swimming pool.
Yeah, that's when you made it. Very fun parents.
Mm-hmm. Well, we haven't. She hasn't made the comment yet that he married her when she was 16 or 17 yet, right?
Yeesh.
That's coming up. Look at the picture. There you go. He had better abs in the second one. Look at that picture of him on the counter on the dresser, right? Though.
He's like, what the hell?
Stoned. Oh, there you go. Little clue product placement, a Rubik's Cube. But yeah, you can just, they're parents who take pictures of each other while they're stoned.
Yeah, they make fun of each other. Like, this is what you look like when you get up.
Okay, so now, Bert and Ernie on the wall there. So yeah, now we're gonna get the clown interaction. We saw it over the shoulder before, but
which is creepy. That I think even scared the hell out of me as a kid.
I think the thing about clowns is that like it's easy to get wrapped into the fucking just creepiness of clowns. Like it's like the more you think about clowns, the worse they are. Nice Chewbacca thing.
Yeah. I was never afraid of clowns. It's just that particular one. Because like even when it came out, even the TV everybody's like, man, that was scary. I was just like, eh.
Especially when it turns into a giant cockroach.
I mean, it was creepy. It was creepy to me, but it wasn't like, oh God.
Yeah, no, but it's a good creepy clown
Yeah.
thing. So those are their toys for the ground floor. Okay, so we're still at the age where they're all going to sleep in there with them.
Yeah. And let's just remember
And
part
that
two was a solid year after this.
yes, and the movie they are watching is a guy named Joe with Spencer Tracy, I think. The one
Which
that's
Spielberg remade,
remade as always. So
as always. Yeah. The tree does look like it kind of has a face. See that?
Tree's been around since Reverend Cain put everybody
Uh,
in a cave underneath and
underneath the tree.
yep.
Well, this is before all that.
How did they not have a single like this is a very simple way of setting up this scare, right? Like we're
Mm,
doing an exposition, we're setting it up with we're educating the kid, and then it's gonna be a scary thing. It's very, 1, 2, 3, right?
mm-hmm.
They don't do any of that in the sequels.
No.
It's just like at least Michael Myers sometimes walks around in the shadows and they play the
Yeah,
fucking music, right? Like,
or people are hallucinating him or something. Now, this is the only realistic thing I've probably seen in movies where you count three after lightning, and that's when the thunder comes. Because normally in most movies, lightning and thunder are at the same damn time.
mhm.
So it's just the details like that. That's yeah,
Mhm.
you know,
Well, because I
because that's
mean,
realistic. You know, suburbia. That's a father telling his kid, "Okay, this is how you don't be afraid of thunderstorms."
Spielberg never did a horror movie, right? Though, like himself.
Except for this.
Yeah.
Come on now. You know what he was doing on his off time from ET. Uh-huh. So they settled on the kids sleeping sleeping in.
Now we get the call back to the beginning. And we're 21 minutes into the movie. And until this point, it's entirely been just
Exposition, setups,
gentle first act setup. Like,
and just telling you this is what's about to happen. We don't know just what yet, but something's about to go down.
where's the dog?
No food. Well, he does show up, doesn't he? Or
Mm,
he should be in the house.
I'm
But,
still just perplexed that the TV's not 16:9, right? Like,
Hey, look, the big sharper image thing on the top.
mm-hmm.
It's 2:37 a.m. This now ends our programming day.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the backwards moving scenes.
Where she goes towards the
Uh-huh. But the like funny thing about this kind of thing is there's no reason you couldn't duplicate these techniques, right? Like
Mm-mm.
A gentle little Jerry Goldsmith kind of. It's the alien Outland Jerry Goldsmith.
Yeah, something creepy is going on.
Mm. And now yep, here we go. 2350, and now it's the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, now we're getting into the something's going down.
It's the Indiana Jones, and he's got the staff of Ra, and he's trying to figure out where the city is.
Yeah, but in reverse. And we have a catchphrase, folks. Oof.
There you go. Poor bird.
The bird's gone for good this time. So they're just now digging the hole for the pool.
What's the dog's name? E-Buzz?
E-Buzz, yeah. Which I have no idea that
Gene Shalit on the TV.
now you know it's thoroughly 1982 because I think he might have appeared in every, movie that showed media. He was in this, Tootsie, Ghostbusters.
Just the noisy kitchen scene too. Like it's very
They got like, a lot of dialogue going. It's really Altman-ish kind of.
Well, I'm just trying to think, like, the Spielberg way of doing families is he doesn't do a lot. There's always some conflict going on, right? Like Close Encounters, the boys are teasing each other. E.T., right?
The father's gone.
Bickering, yeah. But in this one, it is just.
But this scene in particular is very much reminiscent of Roy Scheider in Jaws.
Yes.
When he gets up and he's starting his day and he's doing, everything, and that's Craig T in that whole bit.
Oh, it's Sonny Landon.
Billy Bear. Oh God. Very, very crazy, man. Yikes. The guy who had to have security for him on the set of Predator.
Really?
So they could keep him off of other people.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. Watch this episode of Combat instead. Yeah.
Right. Ah! Wilhelm scream. And already we see Caroline has the shining, the shinin.
Dog's freaking out.
Like, do you not see this on the wall?
I think the second.
This was not up here yesterday. I didn't do it.
Like, so far, JoBeth Williams hasn't really had that much to do other than the mom thing, but now she's getting to like see this shit, right? Like,
yeah. So she's the first to kind of catch on that something's up.
Right. Oh yeah, because there's going to be a great scene with that. But the sort of intrusive workman trope that
was that guy somebody?
He was probably on TV in 1982.
He sort of reminded me of Bowser from Sha-Na-Na. Couldn't have been Bowser, right?
But I was going to say earlier, you could do a Poltergeist 2 that's like a side sequel, right? Like it's another family in the development.
Yes. Yeah.
Something like that. Like where you're not
definitely
losing, you know, the sort of discovery aspect of things, right? Like,
there was just no reason to follow these people any further after this. Hell, if you wanted to franchise Poltergeist, anthology would have been a better way to go. Which brings me to my next idea. What if you grindhoused Poltergeist, E.T., and Halloween 3? It just made that one like longish kind of grindhouse bit.
Right. I don't know.
We go. All the houses look alike.
I'm trying to remember, was there at some point in the development stage, E.T. was more of a horror movie, right? Like when it was a Close Encounters sequel. Yeah.
Yeah. Initially it was they were evil aliens, and they slaughtered a farm of animals, and at the end they leave the one behind.
Then of course the funny thing is that Nightmare on Elm Street started as a potential Disney movie and ended up Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my God.
So what's kind of sad about Poltergeist 2 in particular is that they don't have as good a sky effects as they can pull off in Poltergeist 1.
Oh,
even with some of that, more years of technology. Like,
I think that might have, a lot of that was real, you know, maybe. Because it just, you know, that area. Wow. Look at that. Just the furniture. Those plants. My mom had those plants.
Just such good set decoration too. The crayons on the ground. Like,
yeah. It's for real.
Yeah, it's, well, also the other thing is it's Panavision, whereas at this point Spielberg was done with Panavision until, except for Indiana Jones, he wasn't doing Panavision anymore. I guess that is the thing. This does seem in sync with the, you know, first three Spielbergs, right? Like Sugarland, Jaws, and Close Encounters.
It's the slow burn, you know. It's the ramp going up the roller coaster.
setup with the football helmet. Doesn't Robbie wear the helmet again in the second one?
I think
Maybe.
there might be
That's kind of a deep cut. Like, here we go. Snoopy and Woodstock gonna go flying.
Wow.
Was there?
What? You saw that too, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Wait a minute.
Hmm?
I forgot to put the missing reel bit on there.
Just moving it along, man. Like,
Yeah, enough of that.
I wonder how that came about. Like,
oh, they're stoned. Yeah, he's the sleazy manager,
uh-huh.
the car dealership owner guy.
So, are there any friendly ghost movies from the 80s?
Oh, not that I can. Not till. Damn, right? Not till Patrick Swayze.
I don't
And
think
that was
so.
90.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there weren't any, it was Poltergeist was the reason why. Because they everybody milked,
Yeah.
the bit. Suddenly everything was Poltergeist this.
Well, I mean, like Ghostbusters, right? Like
Yeah.
for the
Ghostbusters.
early 80s, it was
I've watched episodes of Scooby Doo 80s era, and they call them Ghostbusters in a
yeah.
couple episodes.
Here we go. Our callback to the lightning.
See, now we're learning that the first go round when there was a storm, that was just a teaser. So this is the big to do here. And Carol Ann has the clown doll in her bed. I never noticed that before.
Yeah, that's
Huh. You think
this
that might mean
is
something?
I I don't know. This is very close encounters.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and there's the aforementioned swimming pool that we're worried about people falling into.
Wow, the tree was that close to the house?
It's been there for a long time, you know. It's where Reverend
Yeah.
Cain.
Oh yeah, it is. His followers.
Okay,
All
so
them
the
Star Wars toys.
the ghost broke all the good Star Wars toys. What a bunch of jerks.
There goes the clown who does not get taken into wherever the other side. Now I'm starting to think the clown is a maybe a minion.
I mean, there's very little personification of the ghosts in this. It's just a bunch of
Right. Yeah, they're the unseen.
supernatural goings on. And there she goes,
There
right
we go. To the light.
Into the phantom zone.
Woo!
It really is incredible that they made another one of these and didn't top any of the special effects. What's like anywhere near close?
No, part 2 is like the TV sequel to this.
It's like the Ewok movie. It's the Ewok movie.
Right. Yeah. It has a budget, but not really. Like, it looks good enough to look like a movie. Oh, wow. Surprisingly, they used a lot of material from this in Terror in the Isles.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a PG horror movie, right? Like,
Yeah. They covered a lot in that movie. That's the crazy thing. Like, anything that was 80s and pre-80s to that point. Oh, wow.
the other kids have so much more to do in this than in the sequels.
Right.
Like, it'd be till
They get
3 before Lara Flynn Boyle could get this much shit to do.
Carol Ann. Hey.
Well, and I mean,
Do they have a Carol Ann count in this one?
we'll see in the trivia.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
That's another thing I always wondered. Was Joe Beth Williams supposed to be from the South in this? Sometimes when she talks, like, you hear kind of a twang. She's got this weird sort of
the
God.
swimming pool.
Who's the chick that plays Mrs. Incredible?
Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter. She's got kind of a weird Holly Hunter thing
going on.
Yeah. You got to listen for it, though.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the audience knows something, like, she's not in the swimming pool, right? So it's
she's definitely not in the pool. Sheesh.
Doing the pure tear thing seems more Tobe Hooper than Spielberg.
I think that was his. Because the kid, the shot of him with the sludge on his face, that's very Chainsaw. See?
So fucking good. Just so good.
Of course, Dr. Egon Spengler wasn't in that day.
Right. We go to the school for the paranormal thing. Now, how long? I mean, Dan Aykroyd wrote Ghostbusters early, but did they change anything?
Remember, it was huge. His version was like they're traveling through time. That they're doing all.
Okay.
Then it became a lot smaller towards when they were filming. So I would say about here's the point where they might have rearranged it probably from that. Because it definitely changed after Belushi died. And Belushi died, what, in 82, right?
81, 82.
Yeah. So they were probably switching things up.
Now we get
Craig T looks like possessed Craig T.
Right? Like, better makeup than in all the second one.
Yeah.
So that tree's gone, though. None of the neighbors noticed that tree's gone.
Right. Nobody's like, wow, took it right from the roots, huh?
The neighbors convinced they're a bunch of potheads.
Yeah. Everybody knows who the Freelings are. Who do you think everybody else gets a pot from? That's why they don't hang out with any other kids.
Right. This is
Richard Lawson as Billy D. Williams.
a great setup.
Yeah.
They kind of ripped this off in the Roland Emmerich Godzilla, right? Like,
oh yeah,
with the worms or whatever. Yeah. No, when they're excited about Matthew Broderick's excited that something grew, and it's the was that the Mego Hulk riding a pony. That was awesome.
I have that one.
That was the one I always had, and it kept breaking. And it was like the
leg or the arm.
Last one that was available.
I remember they were selling them at remember when Toys R Us opened in Evanston? They still had them.
I don't understand how that has not come back.
They're doing smaller ones.
Yeah, they charge $30 for a fucking Secret Wars figure. Think what they can make on Amigo.
God. No, there's new Mego.
Oh, are there? Okay.
Yeah, they totally brought him back, I think. And that guy, who is he? Somebody's cousin? That's not the Riptide guy, right?
I don't know. So I'm trying to think. Ghost movies of the 70s that weren't schlocky.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any?
Well, I don't know why I keep wanting to say The Exorcist, but
I mean, there's Exorcist, there's Omen, but like
Amityville?
Yeah, what year was Amityville? 80?
Amityville was 79. Yeah.
So this is this is Steven Spielberg's Amityville to some degree.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For sure. Because they were doing sequels at this point to Amityville.
Right.
Matter of fact, one of them came out in 82, right? I think it was the 3D.
But had they lost the like MGM released the first Amityville, right?
I think so. Yeah.
But they didn't do any of the sequels.
The plethora of sequels. I keep thinking about the one they did where it was like the Amityville lamp. There was a lamp from the house.
Wasn't there a doll one? Like
there was a doll one. There was an Amityville doll house.
There's been it's because there's you can't trademark Amityville, so
right.
Anybody can do it. Tobé's still doing the one shots of Jo Beth Williams reacting to things.
Yeah.
Carrying it over from before.
Huh.
I mean, some of it is just that it's more sci-fi to a degree, right? Like,
yep. See, very fast we're learning how the mechanics of this. Oh, you lost child.
Yeah, they really should have just leaned into it with the remake and retconned in Reverend Kane into the remake.
That's all they should have. That's the easiest thing they could have done. Or better yet, the remake could have been the sequel to the prequel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just establish Kane from the start. There we go. There's a Spielberg shot.
And is the hair immediate? No, the hair doesn't happen until later.
Yeah, later after she goes to the void.
Well, I mean, and this is an interesting contrast to the second one, just in like you're getting people to, the acting, they're acting an absurd scene, right? Like, but
yeah, this is something you can't even begin to like direct a certain way.
Right. So you need somebody who can do this, and they just, well, I mean, the second one had the problem of the writing and shit like that, but like, why you would attempt to mount a Poltergeist sequel without understanding how incredible what they pull off with this one is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the whole movie's in the house, right? Like,
yeah,
and it's Panavision, so it's like that's not a.
This could be a hell of a stage play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You could.
This could be made as a stage play. Where's the dog? Yeah. I guess we'll see later what it was that bit him.
E.T. at night, whatever the town was in E.T.
Yeah, they should have showed the vans driving around.
If only this had a Halloween tie-in, then because E.T.'s got its Halloween tie-in where you could easily tie it to Season of the Witch.
Well, they're contained in the house, and it's possible, but I don't think the time frame. This would have to have taken place before E.T.
Right.
Maybe. See, who's the genius that thought of this? They're doing a whispered, dialogue scene.
Mm-hmm. A whisper.
Nobody does this.
Yeah. A whisper technobabble dump. Like, I feel like it's got to be Tobe Hooper, because you would have seen more of this in Spielberg, and you didn't see this kind of thing from him again, right? Like, he's never sort of gone back to that.
Not really.
But also just the use of foreground and background. Since Carol Ann's been taken, there's always been sort of background action going on. And that's kind of something else that Spielberg's not great at. Like,
yeah, he wants everything front and center.
I think that's one of my favorite things for foreground and background actions, Aliens, because there's always shit going on. And the 82 thing, there's always people are always busy in the background. And it's like
somebody's always doing something. Yeah.
That wouldn't have jumped out if more people had been doing it, but
especially the scene where TK Carter, he's roller skating all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just all the, general shit going on.
And I mean, they've been whispering now at this point for 2-3 minutes. Like,
yeah.
Also in this one, I mean, Craig T. Nelson's inability to deal with it as well as Jo Beth Williams is another. Super cool thing.
She's more of a believer. This feels like something out of Twilight Zone movie. This could have been this whole movie could have been a segment in that, since it really is a remake of Little Girl Lost. They've kind of added a sort of mythology around it to make it different.
Mm-hmm. I just don't understand how the guys who wrote the second one took Spielberg's story and got this out of it and then turned in the second one, right? Like,
because when they coveted the ownership, how it goes. It's a lot like how you go from 70s X-Men to 90s X-Men, or the Titans to the later issues when Nightwing quit. and Arsenal's the leader. It's just kind of when somebody else gets their hands on something. Go to sleep.
She just say he's going to stay with grandma.
Yeah.
She's going to be. My deadbeat sister's going to be there. Don't talk to her.
Do not talk to Aunt Pat or Aunt Trish, whatever the hell.
Which one would she have been at this point? That's right. It's so confusing.
She wanted to be called Trish, right? Or was it?
I thought she wanted to be called Pat.
Yeah, she wanted to be called Pat, so she'd be Trish at this point. Or
I'm confused why Pat was trendier than Trish.
There you go. There you go.
Sleeping with the lights on so we can see the actors.
Wow, old school Cheetos bag, throwback bag.
Is this their big scene?
Yeah. Now this was Tobé, I think. Or no, I think Spielberg put this in with the face. Maybe? I can't remember because he said when he was a kid he did a stunt like this with the wet toilet paper on his face or something.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. I'm just going to fucking cook your steaks, man. Like,
yeah, just all up in the damn fridge. About to parlay in their kitchen, and he's eating a chicken too.
I mean, think about how smoky that's going to be, right? Like,
right. Everybody's going to wake up smelling it. You know how much this side of beef costs?
I mean, things like over a half-inch thick, so he's just gonna. There'd be so much oil and just mess.
Grease. He's gonna fry it like a.
It's a real Peter Venkman move, man.
The meat came alive, Ray. The chicken had maggots, Ray. Boraxo, not just borax. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Really state of the art for 82.
Okay, so this is the thing where you're just like, how did they get
Terminator effects
PG for this? Like, it was like a technicality.
And one of the reasons why they started to develop PG-13.
Right.
Because this is very, like...
That's a lot, like...
That's before it really gets gruesome. I guess they got away with it because it was so quick, but still super, super effective.
What do they do with things now where you used to have like needles drawing on paper? Is there some computer effect that does this now? Or did
Yeah,
it?
I think it's digital or something. Where
Okay. For when you're ghost hunting, like.
yeah, they have actual PKEs now.
I feel like he wouldn't be listening to music. I feel like he'd be paying
No.
attention.
Yeah, especially after what they like saw.
Mhm.
There would never be a moment where it's like, oh, okay,
I'm just gonna chill out and draw instead of paying attention.
and I'm gonna go into the kitchen, raid the fridge, fry up one of these steaks. Something wicked this way comes.
Sorry for the silence, folks. It's just such a good sequence.
It's so damn good. Oh,
Do we get an actual beautiful angel ghost at this point?
before it turns, doesn't it turn into evil face?
It might. Okay, so that has to be a reference in Ghostbusters, right? Like,
Yeah, the librarian
yeah.
in the beginning. This is totally when they see Gozer, kind of.
See, the daughter missed all this good shit.
She was out.
Oh no, it doesn't. Evil face.
I thought it did. Well, yeah, I must have been thinking of Ghostbusters because I thought it was a part where, oh, you know what else did it? Raiders,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Raiders does it.
That's what I
Once you
kept
realize,
thinking of.
yep. Yep.
On the arc, they open the arc, and
Mm-hmm.
this is beautiful.
So yeah, at this point, it's look at those hats. They're wearing cowboy hats because it was the old west when Reverend Kane locked them in the basement. Well, hi, Caroline.
Well, hi, Caroline. Let me take your hand, child.
They couldn't fucking go with him. Like, what the fuck? Like, how far is the cab ride to Grandma's?
Right? Or one of them could have.
Why don't they
I
have a
guess they didn't want
car?
to.
I'm confused.
They didn't want to miss a thing. I think.
Okay.
You know.
Nancy Allen totally could have stopped, got off her ass, and come and picked up her nephew. Just saying.
She totally was just at the house pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Do I really have to pick him up? Look, I'll pay for a cab. And that was the compromise right there. You could thank Aunt Trish for the cab ride over.
Well, good thing they have a bunch of pot in the house. Like,
Right? Where did that go to? This could have kept everybody mellow all night.
a return to the whispering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is
All
where we
right.
meet James Karen as the boss.
James Karen playing one of many just sleaze balls. And if it wasn't James Karen, it probably would have been Kevin McCarthy.
Was Murray Hamilton dead at this point? He could have
He
done
might
this
have been.
too. Yeah.
He could have, yeah. Would that have been too much of a nod, though?
Probably.
Yeah, we're looking
It's
at a
very
very
popular mechanics.
disheveled, just beat Craig T there.
This is the first time he's gotten anything to do on his own since the remote control scene. Basically,
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
it is Joe Beth Williams' movie.
for sure. She really kind of does a lot of the heavy shit in this, the emotional stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, just like shit like this, like,
Right.
go talk to the door that you're pretending is your kid that's been taken to another dimension.
Damn.
Clown's in a bad mood.
Right. That clown owns that room right now. Uh, so it's the flu. So school is in,
Yeah. So
and they're looking out on the beginning of another development. It's it's a development Marty wants to live at in Back to the Future.
that's right. It is. Yes.
All this shit is tied together, dude.
The Southern California shooting location cinematic universe.
Very kind of cryptic with the picket fence.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a development that they ride the bikes through in ET. Because
Oh
remember the
shit.
end where they're riding the bikes around?
Yeah.
Becky was born in 1903.
Surprise. There's a graveyard.
Dun dun dun. Oh, see, he's told him already that. Huh.
Dun dun dun.
This is very much the we found the arc scene. Belloc was digging in the wrong place.
I'm also trying to figure out how you would Panavision this or pan and scan this without cutting off. You'd be cutting off both sides, right? Like
I've seen it on TV where like you only see like the edge of Craig T's face,
right.
and half of James Cairn. This was always one of the worst ones. Enter
There
Zelda.
we go. Tobé in his foreground or background to foreground now. She's so much funnier in this one than she is in the other two.
Yeah, because it's you don't expect, you're like, what the hell at this point? But they make sense out of it.
The thing about the ghost hunters in this, though, their facts are not incorrect, even though no one's ever seen anything like this before, right? Like, so they're lucky that. Right, her gifts have been documented, but nobody's ever seen anything like this before.
Right. Right.
But it's the third one where they bring that back and like make no reference to it, right? Tom Skerritt.
Yeah. So what am I thinking? They this the other guy opts out, I guess, huh?
Yeah, he was too scared off by the
He
meat.
said, I'm not coming back.
Craig looks worse than when she got there. I think he's been drinking in between.
Yeah, he can't handle it because he's not a believer. And he's like down to the last nub in his stash at this point. Music sounds kind of like a Star Wars bit.
Mm-hmm.
Only you know, Obi-Wan.
It's got a very Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My father? Your father he is.
There's a little Star Trek the Motion Picture.
Yeah, definitely. I cry for V'ger as I would a brother.
I mean, maybe the problem with 2 and 3 is there's just not enough whispering, right? Like,
because they just go full straight ahead with the bullshit, you know?
yeah, I just don't think. I mean, there.
Because you can watch this, you know, as is. There's no connection to the other
No.
ones. There's no need to watch 2 or 3 at all after watching this.
But I mean, obviously, a lot of it's Toby Hooper versus or Zelda. Actually, I think Zelda Rubinstein said that anytime she filmed, Steven Spielberg was there. So there's that take on it. But
and that's why she sort of commands the room in a way.
but there's just no way to do this with another one. Like, especially since, I mean, this sort of experience with the supernatural and then having to like confine it for a sequel, it just doesn't.
No.
You can't roll it back, right? Like, you can't. You can't forget that there are dinosaurs on Jurassic Park or whatever.
God. Don't remind me there's another one coming out. See, we live with dinosaurs now.
Honestly,
they're not scary anymore.
they eat people, they're still scary.
Yeah, but let them go to South Central.
Look at the lights on
the screens.
No, the tears. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Matthew F. Eddie. Like, I feel like he did a bunch of.
Oh wow. So this is it. Like I always thought there was a.
There is. It's a
whole.
It's a fake ending.
But there was like a whole sequence before even this, you know. This is just when she gets the kid back.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, but yeah, you're right. It's the fake ending.
And it's pretty sick. Like, we're 80 minutes in, right? It's roughly 2 hours. It's what, 114 minutes total. So this is sort of like rushing the second act in a way. But it's like we had like such a long. I mean, the second act of this movie is just freaking phenomenal because the first act was 20 minutes, right? I think. And that was all just the setup. And then from there, we got to here. And so.
Yeah, the patient is just.
Mm-hmm. Wow, nice dude.
Wow.
Your ghost child. Because I mean, the other thing is, Mom's not looking at anything right. Mom's staring at a
no,
wall right now,
she's
right? Like
she's doing the TV I'm blind shit. See, she's got kind of a I don't like baby.
I don't know where Joe Butts Williams is from though. That seems like more of a Oklahoma twang,
Yeah, something.
female Michael Shannon type thing. C3PO. Go see Return of the Jedi in a theater near you next summer.
Right. Oh no, at this point, Revenge of the Jedi.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, I have that strobe light. These kids like to rave, don't they? Whoa.
There you go. Is it covered in ectoplasm?
Yep. She throws the other one and hits Carol Ann in the head. Ow!
Trying to think what the music. Yeah, the music sounds very John Williamsy at this point.
Yeah, this definitely. But I think this is the most Poltergeist the soundtrack sounds, though. It's definitely a riff on the arc.
Mm-hmm. What's funny is in the third one they made such a big deal out of their in-camera special effects. Yeah, these were in-camera special effects too, a lot of it. So why the fuck didn't you look this good? Like,
Right. With that flat camera they were using. It
X amount of years later, they
wow. Yeah.
yuck. That's like ghost bodies, dude.
Yeah. That rope is going right through somebody right now.
Right? Like
Okay,
Deckard
that's
unit.
yeah.
Deckard unit.
Yeah, Kurt doing that.
I love how people acted like motion picture had absolutely no effect on anything. I'm like, then you watch everything and you're like, oh no, it's just. Where else do you think they got the idea for blowing hair like that, right? Like, oh shit, that is the music too. It's Spot going through.
Oh yeah. Yep. Spock journey through V'ger.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating.
This complete freak out before they pull him back in. That.
Mm-hmm. That's really helpful, Zelda Rubinstein.
This is really completely like beyond. Uh,
This is how you find out if you have epilepsy.
yeah.
Fireballs. That's a Toby Hooper shot for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's pulling through. No wonder the ghost is mad. You got a rope running through its butthole. Okay, dude, you dropped the fucking
Wow.
ectoplasm.
Now, if they knew they were coming through that, why did they have something softer there?
One would think. They got all those mattresses up in the bedroom.
Yeah, they could have just
Oh,
used
they
some
can't get in the
mattresses.
bedroom.
Oh, that's right. Well, they can use the parents' bed or something. Because that's surely like a broken something. Unless they didn't have that far to fall.
I like how Carol Ann is clearly just
Yeah,
like
she's trying, waiting for her cue.
She's just like, this is so gross and uncomfortable.
All right, open your eyes.
And neither of them ever ate strawberry gelatin again.
Ew, no. Great score there.
All right, movie's over, right? Every happy
Okay,
ending.
folks, let's wrap up the popcorn and
yeah. 83 minutes in, we're done.
And the station wagon is still standing.
Did they go get him or did he cab it back too?
Trish made him hitchhike.
Mm-hmm.
Just sent them home with a stranger. Drop him off where he sees his house. And they give you that sense of, hey, we're back to normal.
Mm-hmm. Except for the hair.
Right.
And there, foreground and background. Two double, right? We got Robbie in the background one place. We got Carol Ann another place. Like,
yeah.
Definitely not directed with the TV screen in mind.
No. Because when you see this on TV, especially, again, that damn Channel 9 cut, you don't see the truck at all. You just see
the door. Yeah.
You see the door, and that's it. Oh, yeah, the gray. Look at the gray.
Mm-hmm.
She's a sorcerer supreme now.
Why didn't they keep that for the second one? Like, at the very least, they could have kept that for the second one. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, she dyes it here.
I thought she kept it.
No. Because when she's about to go into take a bath or whatever.
That's right. Yep. Nancy Allen adding white streaks to be like her big sister. Nothing going on in the ghost room. It's all fine.
This is right after, and like the kids are okay sleeping in that room.
I mean, it's a few
they didn't
days.
Just immediately move out of the house, though. You know,
the house is clean.
That's the ET bathtub.
Reverend Candy's moved on. Vitabath. I remember Vitabath. The bottles had like ridges, except for the label area.
That's the bathroom from ET, I think, or the cut scene.
Mm-hmm. They cut her in her Ripley undies too, which probably made Gene Siskel very happy that he didn't have to see that. The Han Solo blaster.
Han Solo blaster, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, they still had toys out.
Nope. There was a bath scene. Gene Siskel must be rolling in his grave. Truck toys from before Transformers. Yep, he left his Darth Vader as the last thing he's packing. Yoda's in bed with him.
And that damn clown.
Ugh. You would think that you would do something about the clown that had spent the whole time in the possessed room. Like, that's a little weird.
Yeah, that's why this is kind of a, hey, we're not done with y'all yet.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't going nowhere.
Wow. That Luke Skywalker's definitely not mint anymore.
No. Why do I think that's probably how they did Newt? Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, she only had the doll head?
Yeah. Okay, so things have been normal for 5 minutes-ish. But wait.
Even the dog is kind of...
What's E-Butts see? I don't know, man. Like, just the idea of getting in a bathtub in your ghost house, like, that's scary.
That's what I mean. It's like
shit. Like, nope.
Doing anything in that house. Like, they immediately went right back to normal. It's the most well-adjusted family. Uh-oh. Scariest scene to any kid ever at the time.
Then under the bed. Dad.
Uh, uh.
It's a very Steven Spielberg, not Steven Spielberg, Stephen King
Yeah,
like
yeah.
thing. Did a half-assed job of packing that bedroom.
It's like they really didn't want to leave.
They were supposed to be leaving tonight. Like, how the hell does she think they're going to be done?
All that shit is still in there. Uh-oh. Give me some chon chon.
This is Exorcisty.
Yeah.
Though far more elaborate. While Poltergeist never really got its rediscovery, I do remember at some point, maybe like an Entertainment Weekly video guide, they did a thing about like how the hell they did the special effects in this stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they never really. It's like, even with the remake of this is like one of those remakes for the hell of it, rather than having any sort of.
Yeah, it was a remake because we've got the property type deal.
Yeah, let's make this before we lose the rights to it or whatever.
We need to exploit the existing back catalog of franchise potential.
Yep. Now this, they had at the Hollywood Wax Museum or whatever in California, the Chamber of Horrors, scariest shit ever.
It's like a giant ghost spider thing. Like, that's
yeah. Yeah. The zapping of the doors and stuff. That's kind of Nightmare on Elm Street-ish.
They got the one stunt woman behind the going behind the door, and then JoBeth Williams. That is the neighbor in? I can't remember. Do we see that fucking useless neighbor?
But they don't help, or they don't help much. Like, they get her out of the pool, I think. Okay.
Just assuming
and then
she's
the wife
stoned.
is like, "Don't go in the house." These were real, right? The skeletons.
Wasn't that the rumor? Yeah.
Yeah. Very creep show.
Did Craig not tell her that about the graveyard?
Nope. Absolutely not. Yeah, here it comes. It's just the fake scare. As soon as she slips back in the motherfucker.
This is very Tobé Cooper.
Yeah. Real grisly.
PG, it's good for the kids. I can't imagine why they tried to do a PG-13.
I guess it would have been scarier if they were actual zombies. Then it would have probably necessitated
right
R.
There we go.
Yeah. They
Nope.
somehow wander into the backyard to help her, but then they
No, that's too much.
but there's no other neighbors either, I guess, huh?
Oh, there we go. There's our forced perspective shot. A little less Jaws, more Vertigo, I would say, though.
And the hallway looks like the hallway in the Myers house behind her.
Well,
Yeah. Was Carol Ann a doll there?
Carol Ann is totally a doll there. I'm sure they were like, here's what we're going to do. Let's dangle the kids upside down and do this. And somebody was just like, we're not doing that.
See, look, the little legs kicking.
Oh, no.
Okay, now that's the kid.
That was her.
Come on with your little kid hands.
What about the doll? They're going to leave the clown? Rude.
The clown was a messenger for them. I'm still sticking with my clown as a demonoid theory. Like it was always watching them.
Yeah, there is no. Oh, there you go.
Oh. And this footage is used as flashbacks in part 2.
This is this is almost the funniest part of the movie. Like it's all just in your face at this point, right? Like
it all just
you got James Cameron having a panic attack.
Ninja. Aye. My son was in the pond too. Martin, my son was in the pond.
Where's keys, man? Hurry up.
The keys. Oh, the keys. Just open his door for him. Fucking.
How many keys does he have? Like,
right. Well, he's again. That's just the scared shitlessness of it.
Yeah.
Ah. Woo. Oh. That's big trailer shot.
Yep. Very big Spielberg moment there, though.
That was in every trailer. That was about as big as they're here.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the neighborhood looks pretty good for all this in the second one.
That shot made it look like the Lethal Weapon neighborhood.
Right?
Riggs and Raj driving out in the station wagon. It's my wife's car, Riggs. Big shot. Signature shot. You know, Turner Classic Movies, between movies would play like the making of Poltergeist. And most of it was about like that particular shot there. Boom. Yeah, how do you explain that? Everybody saw it. How did they get paid off?
Carol Ann was brainwashing them. They explain it in the third one, obviously.
Oh, right, the doctor, yeah. Dr. Jerk. Mass hypnotism. Mass hypnosis there.
She made you think.
She made you think her entire house just disappeared into
But
nothing.
Really,
but what you saw. Holiday Inn. Somewhere Chevy Chase is about to jump in a swimming pool with Chrissy Brinkley.
Holiday, bro. And
get on in there and go to sleep.
And here comes
2, 3. Right. Enough of that shit.
But I mean, it's also like you've got a movie that's got an ending like that.
Yeah.
Why don't you try to duplicate it in one of your fucking sequels? Right?
They couldn't. The talent wasn't there.
The talent wasn't there.
Camera.
Okay, you know what else this reminds of? Is Gremlins a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It even makes a statement at the end. You know.
Okay, so yeah, Kathleen Kennedy, so Amblin-y.
Yeah, this was Amblin.
Fenton and Feinberg. Oh, look at that crane. Look at that shit. Oh, God.
See, the TV version for years and the original, I think, DVD version had all of this sped up. It was really weird.
Dirk Blocker. Yep, there you go.
Dirk Blocker. Yep. Who was also in one of my favorites, Midnight Madness. As Blaylock.
It's one nice crane shot.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
Yeah, it's like this sort of Alan Howarth special sound effects. There you go. In association with Alan Howarth. It's like this Craig T gets the top billing in the cast, yeah. But there's like we call it the Sunnyland. It's also ILM, right? The second one wasn't ILM, right?
No,
like that was
hell no.
Yeah.
The second one was budget all the way.
But there is like this sort of Amblin Spielberg branded stuff that like got very diluted by the late 80s, right? But like still at this point, the executive produced or even produced by the Spielberg thing was
if
cool.
If this hadn't been a movie, this would have been a segment on Amazing Stories. I bet you.
Wire work, like
special wire performance. Damn it.
MGM tapes and records for the soundtrack, but
Warner
marketed
Books novelization.
I want
Ultracam.
That's fucking creepy. Creepy little laughing.
Allegedly, that's the freed souls in Glee that they're released. Poltergeist.
All right. So yes, let's see what the IMDb trivia has here. If there's anything for our little quick read through here. But yeah, there really is no reason to watch Poltergeist 2 or 3. Like,
nope. They're about as useless sequels as Teen Wolf 2 is to Teen Wolf.
Okay. Heather O'Rourke kept the goldfish. Both of Robbie's tears were from Spielberg's fears as a child, Clowns in the Tree. Only one thing ever scared Heather O'Rourke: when the wind machine blew toys around her. Drew Barrymore didn't get the part because she wasn't angelic.
Wow.
Okay, so we didn't comment on this at the time. When Steven tells the parapsychologist his family members' ages, he says that Dana, his oldest daughter, is 16 and that the wife is 32. Many viewers interpret this to mean that Diane was only 16 when she gave birth to Dana, which is how math works. However, the novelization explains that Diane is the stepmom, but of course...
Oh, you're kidding.
That's not in continuity, people. James Caron was also a spokesman for supermarkets and received hate mail received hate mail because of how he treated the Freelings.
But he always played that guy, though.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, what kind of letters did he get for what he did in Return of the Living Dead?
Weasel. He played the Weasel in Return of the Living Dead.
Okay. Okay, here you go. Ready? There's a jump cut from the scene where Diana's explaining to Steven about the feeling you get when the spirit pulls you across the floor. The scene jumps mid-sentence to the scene where they're both at the neighbor's doorstep, again in mid-sentence. The reason for the cut is because Steven says how much he hates Pizza Hut, and it was edited after Pizza Hut complained.
Oh, God. That's for real.
Human skeletons were used because it would be too complicated and expensive to get fake ones. Jo Beth Williams was not made aware of that. Craig T. Nelson did a direct TV commercial as Stephen Freeling in 2008.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was they were doing a lot of those. I think Pat Morita did one for the Karate Kid. It was kind of funny where they would like take signature scenes and put them back in the scene. I think they have a few of those on YouTube. Originally
given an R rating, but they appealed and got a PG out of it. There are lyrics to Carol Ann's theme. You can find them on the internet.
Oh my God, no! It's already. I don't know. It's like you say. It's sort of it's a good score, but that theme's a little haunting, creepy a little.
Mm-hmm. You would think that they would have, run with that with the second one, use the lyrics if they already had them.
Well, they had that other song, Reverend Kane's like creepy. In this holy temple. The lyrics to Carol Ann's theme is probably like some "I Dream of Jeannie" shit.
Oh God! The giant ghost is Reverend Henry Kane. If you yep, there you go. Zelda Rubinstein didn't like Tobe Hooper because she thought he had a drug problem.
Whoops!
Was he smoking that pot out of the cigar box? Oh wow! Critics gave Jerry Goldsmith's score a bad notes, which is rude. There was an actor cut out of the movie who was the Dr. Beatrice Straight's mentor or something.
What?
Yeah. The original cast of the movie included veteran actor Edward Ashley, who portrayed Dr. Leish's older and wiser colleague who convinced her to bring Tangina to handle the case. This scene was cut.
Oh. Huh.
sounds like the Mark Victor and Michael Grace did have, like, they did make major contributions to things. Come on, hold on. We're almost there. Dr. Leash's whisper monologue that night is based on some pop psychology book that would have been popular at the time. Steven Spielberg had Michael Kahn edit this one instead of E.T. because Spielberg felt this one would be harder to edit. And then Goldsmith says he only worked with Spielberg to compose the score. So no Tobe Hooper. So, I mean, maybe that's some of why it's got such a weird lack of appreciation legacy, right? Like, it's not a very simple thing where you can talk about how it was made.
It's a real patchwork, you know. Actually, I admire it for being that much of a collaboration, but it's a damn Spielberg movie.
Right.
You know, Toby, you know, I'm sure he rested easy a lot of the time because he probably didn't have to do much, you know. His days were probably short on, you know, set. And then it's not hard to imagine Spielberg doing a lot of this in his spare time from E.T.
Right. The tone is often very similar.
And it's all in the same place.
Exactly. Speaking of Steven Spielberg, should we announce next season?
Yeah.
All right. Season 3 is going to be the Jaws quadrilogy.
You guys excited? We're excited.
Especially since 4 is only 89 minutes. So once you get through that, there's at least something somewhere the rest of the time. But
yes, Jaws 3. We're kind of going to bring a little justice to Jaws 3 because it's right.
It is time. It's
been very unfairly scrutinized over the years, and I'll say it now, and I'll probably say it when we do it. It's a bad Jaws movie, agreed, but it's a great monster on the loose film.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you can't really.
It's a fine Creature from the Black Lagoon 3 remake or whatever. Like, yeah.
The pacing's not bad. I mean, it's not even that long.
No, 96, I think. So, but we'll get to that. We gotta wait. We gotta get through.
We gotta
get through some of the other ones.
Get out of the bloody water.
We gotta get through Academy Award winner Michael Caine. So that'll be starting up soon.
Yes.
I don't know. There's not really much to sum up with the Poltergeist franchise. It's not a franchise. So
we kind of failed to just give a little footnote on the series. There was a kind of distaff or a kind of I don't know, distant cousin offshoot, you could call it, called Poltergeist: The Legacy, which was one of those syndication bits shows where they played on the weekends, or I think it started on Showtime or something and then went in syndication, very much like Friday the 13th, the series, you know, just using a property. I think it's somehow tangentially, or however you say that shit. It's somehow related to the Poltergeist franchise. Not directly, though.
Hold on. The concept of the legacy. It's a secret society, and they were the ones who helped get her back in the first movie. So it's Thorn. It's what if Thorn were good?
God.
So it ran for 4 seasons. It was very Canadian. And
yeah, like all syndicated action shows from the 90s.
Looks like Showtime for the first 3 seasons and Sci-Fi for the last one. Your biggest stars were, I mean, probably Daniel J. Travanti and Helen Shaver, really. Like, who's Derek DeWint, Martin Cummings, and Robbie Chong?
Robbie Chong. That's Tommy Chong's other daughter.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
She's the There you go. She's the Don
other
Swayze
daughter.
of the Chong.
Okay.
The Don Swayze of the Chong family.
Wow. So
She's the Frank Stallone of the Chong family.
yeah, if you want to watch Poltergeist, it looks like it's out on DVD, or The Legacy. It's out on DVD. I don't think.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
I don't think so. They keep dangerous artifacts. They have different teams in different towns.
It's a bigger version of Friday the 13th. Kind of.
Special rings.
Because the whole concept of Friday the 13th was cursed items in an antique store or something.
Isn't that Warehouse 13 too?
More likely, yeah.
It filmed in Canada, but took place in San Francisco, so I'm sure that looked very realistic. Oh, I love this in the Wikipedia. Season 2 can be found on Amazon.com as DVD-R under license of MGM. It will be burned on request when ordered. Okay, so there you go. Poltergeist: The Legacy. Sadly, nobody from the movies ever got so desperate they guest starred.
No.
But yeah, so Poltergeist. See Poltergeist. Don't see Poltergeist 2 or 3.
Yeah, don't bother with the sequels.
It's pretty simple. When people shit mouth sequels, they're talking about Poltergeist.
Yeah, for the most part. Really, really bad sequels. Of course, then again, we did mention Amityville, and
yeah, but Amityville sucks all the way through.
Yeah, Amityville's not even.
Yeah, there is that problem. But yeah, so we won't be doing Amityville. We don't have enough time.
No,
there's too many. There's too many.
It's too many. Too many, and
they're not
too many. None of them are.
No, they're just all miserable anyway. So it's just like, no, you don't get to the good one at the end. So at least we'll have that to remember as we dig in on Jaws: The Revenge next episode. Don't know how to prepare anybody for that, but it's coming.
Oh, it'll be all right.
All right. Well, I do not
Jaws: The Revenge.
Think I will have time to read the novelization where there's a ghost voodoo shark, but I wish I did.
All right. Yeah.
Yep. Ghost voodoo shark. But we'll save that for next time.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for
that. Yeah, thanks for hanging out and listening. And I guess we say goodnight to Carol Ann for one last time.
Good night, Carol Ann.
Rest easy, little angel. All right, we're out.